ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to BackPocketGameReviews, and today we're going to talk about a video that I've actually been requested to do on numerous times, and I've kind of put it off. And a lot of this comes up because of a couple different reasons, and we're going to get into all of that. It's going to be a fun topic for us here. So, a lot of you guys always ask me to do a video on, is retail dying? Why do people care if I think retail is dying? Well, I worked for GameStop for 5 years as a manager, and I've worked in other retail companies for a long period of time as well, and I've had positions from any form of management you can think about: operations, assistant manager, store manager, to customer service management, to in-stock management. I've worked numerous different positions, and I've a lot of times worked multiple jobs at one time. So I do know quite a bit about retail. I do know what most retailers are currently trying to do to try to keep a lot of customers. But it's not a simple yes or no question or answer. You can't simply go, yes, retail is dying, or no, retail is dying. Because there are retailers that are doing very well, and there are some that are doing very terribly. So, obviously, we've had a lot of them go recently. We've had Radio Shack, we've had Blockbuster. Yes, Blockbuster is still technically a retailer because they did sell products. They might have also rented them, but selling as well. We've had Sears now joining that trend. We had Toys R Us doing their shady little, hey, let's spin off our debt and screw over our employees, but then make a comeback as a different name while still keeping the Toys R Us brand. So, not all retailers are necessarily dying. There are certain industries that are dying as a whole. When you look at overall toys don't necessarily sell quite as well as what they used to, and a lot of that has to do with we've got so many different products we give to kids these days, like iPads, Android tablets, computers, all of these different things, constantly keeping them connected at all times. It is almost a struggle to get my kids to go outside and play if I don't offer to take them to the park. Me and my friends used to ride a wagon down the driveway, because I had a sloped driveway. We'd ride this wagon down the driveway and steer it and slam into the fence at the bottom. I was one of those kids that probably should have been wrapped in bubble wrap because of the stupid decisions I made, but thankfully my parents never did. We also used to ride the roof of our toy box down the stairs. It's not bad parenting. If I would have broke my arm, I probably would have done it again. So, with this being said, I just think there's a lot of markets that are changing, a lot of things that are evolving, and interests that aren't really staying the same. So, certain retailers need to look into different options of branching out. It's just like how I talk about numerous different topics here on this channel to keep things interesting for myself and for you guys. If I only talked about one topic constantly, we would all get bored. No one wants to get bored. That's a big problem here, especially when you got a sea of other things you can do. It's just like a retailer. If you don't have the products that I want, I can go somewhere else and find them. So, stock and merchandise becomes a big problem with that. And eventually you can look at a lot of companies that did branch out for an amazing, successful restructuring, essentially. If you look at Best Buy, at one point in time, Best Buy didn't carry appliances. They carried car audio and stuff along those lines and had audio installers. We're not really in that time period anymore where it's like, man, my car came with some crap speakers, but I need a subwoofer that can blow my trunk open. I may have had some subs back in the day. So, I'm just saying, those aren't really things that we look for. Like, I remember having removable faceplates on my stereo system. Again, that's not really something that's seen all too often anymore. Most cars are now coming with all of this higher technology stuff. It's not like I need to go buy a tape cassette converter to plug in my CD player to listen to CDs on my drive home. We don't have those things, so again, businesses have to evolve. That's a big part of it. What products do we need to get out of, and what new ones do we need to bring in? Now, that's not the biggest part, because obviously most companies have a lot of different things, especially if you go like to a Target or a Walmart. They have a lot of different products. So then you come down to two other very important things. You have two directions you can go. You got Amazon, obviously, as a big competitor, and I don't think Amazon is the thing that's going to kill all of these retail stores. A lot of these retail stores just have a huge amount of competitors, and they blow up into so many locations. And then you also have Amazon, who plays a part into that. So not only are they competing with themselves, but they're also competing with the online store. But you have two different ways you can compete in these types of markets. You can either be immensely cheaper than everyone else, which is very rare, and that's something that Walmart does try to do, and a lot of times does fall flat. That's why a lot of companies are like, yeah, we price match Amazon, because they want to get every dollar, even if they are losing money. And in the tech industry, so if you are buying laptops or graphics cards, a lot of times those companies are losing money price matching them. But if I can't get you to come into the store, I have no chance of getting your money at all. It's not like you're going to impulse purchase something. It's not like I can attach a warranty on that to possibly make it a green profit margin for me. So if you do like retailers, you should primarily try to shop at retailers, and a lot of them are going to price match those online prices for you. So I'm not telling you not to bargain hunt. But I do buy a lot of my stuff in retail stores versus online. And a lot of that's because I sometimes fear buying things online. Not because I think I'm going to get hacked. So there's actually a good vape store that's called Element Vape. They sent me the wrong order. It's not what I ordered at all. And the shipping label has my name on it, but the packing list inside is for another guy named Bryce. Hi Bryce, if you happen to watch my videos. I have your RDA mod. Hopefully you have my pod system I ordered. Yeah, big difference on what we ordered there, huh? So, with that being said, I think it is very interesting to see a lot of the shift go to online for everything. And I don't know if it's a lot of us don't want to interact anymore, because you don't have to deal with the customer service person who's going to sit there and try to offer you all these things. And that's another thing that I think a lot of retailers do wrong, is they eventually alienate their audience when it's constantly aggressive sales. You have to do light sales, but you have to be able, if you're a good sales associate, you're already going to know enough about that customer to be able to relate why they're going to need that. Hey, you told me you have little kids at home that are destructive little demons and possibly eat the souls of other people. You should probably get a warranty for your brand new TV because you said they shook the last one over. Don't get me wrong, I've had people that'll be like, oh yeah, I spilled coffee on my MacBook. Do you want us to warranty this new laptop? No, I'm good. Alright. Okay. You're gonna drink coffee next to your new computer. Let's not beat around the bush here. So, or you can offer better customer service. Obviously, that's the one thing you don't get when you shop online. There is no one there to help you. No one is going to engage with you if you do have questions about the product. And obviously, though, as a store associate, your knowledge on a product can only go so far unless you personally use that product. And I cannot personally use every product in my retail store, I assure you of that. However, I can tell you the specs that are listed on the box. But a lot of people do expect there to be more to some products. Like, they might be like, oh, does this printer print perfect hairs off my ass? Probably not. I mean, it does have a high scan bed resolution, higher than this one, so you're probably going to get more of the hairs on your ass. So obviously, that's not the greatest one, but you might, maybe you're buying a game. Maybe you want to talk to the store associate. Hey, was this game any good? Yes, Naughty Bear is the greatest game ever made. Buy Naughty Bear now. Serial killing teddy bear. So, obviously there is that piece to it as well. I can't go on Amazon, I can read through the reviews, but then you run into how many of those are paid reviews, how many of them are accurate, and I can tell you a lot of the bad, because sometimes I do tell customers to check out Amazon reviews when they're debating on buying a product. I'm not afraid of you going to Amazon, because I'll price match Amazon. Go for it. But sometimes if they're sitting on the fence, you know, let's pull up some of the Amazon reviews. And it is really interesting because a lot of times the Amazon complaints are usually user error. Not calling people stupid, I'm just saying some people don't really know what they're doing when it comes to technology. And just because you can write a review doesn't necessarily mean the product was bad. It might just mean you don't know how to actually use the product. If you've never gone through some of these Amazon reviews, you should. It is actually really entertaining sometimes. So, customer service is a great way for you to keep these people. And that is a thing that my company does focus on pretty adamantly. That is a huge focus for us. The customer is the number one priority. No customer, no business. Simple as that. So, that alone isn't really going to save you, though, in retail. You also still need to be able to have an online store as well. Yes, I know, online is what's killing everyone, but if you don't have an online store, those are customers that aren't going to shop with you. But it could be as simple as, hey, I need this paper right now. Oh, I can pick it up in their store immediately and have as little contact just be in and out, right like that. And, to be fair, I'm someone who does a lot of purchase online and pick up in store. I do want my product quickly, and I don't typically want to wait for shipping, but I also work a lot. Whether it be on YouTube or whether it be at my actual full-time job, I do a lot of work. I also walk like 18,000 steps a day. So my desire to go in and walk around a store and engage with people is relatively low because my polite nick has already probably expired by the end of my shift. Like, we're already at the point of, all right, I have been so polite over things that have nothing to do with me, and maybe we're just blown out of proportion, that I just want to get in and out. And obviously I use Best Buy's pickup in store quite often. I've never used Target's and I've never used Walmart's. Usually if I'm going into a Walmart, it's because my wife had certain groceries that she wanted. If I'm going into a Target, it's usually with something specific in mind or to browse toys. So I get toys for my kids at Target a lot. I do pay a little more at Target to not have to witness what walks into a Walmart though. It's a fantastic concept. Here's some extra dollars. I don't want to see the 500-pound woman walking around wearing a fishnet leotard. Thank you. And yes, I have seen that in a Walmart at 1:30 a.m., sadly enough. But there are a lot of different routes you have to go, whether it be capturing these sales that are going to get delivered to a customer or capturing these sales for, hey, how convenient can we make it for you? And honestly, the pickup in store is probably going to be the biggest one for retailers because a lot of that stuff is, oh shit, my printer just ran out of ink. I need to run into a store and get some ink. It's going to be stuff that you need immediately. That is a lot of the ways that retailers are capitalizing on this. And I think that's going to be one of the biggest ways that they prolong their lifetime. And obviously that was one of the biggest issues that Toys R Us had, is they never actually fully evolved into that e-commerce space. So they never actually had a greatly designed website. They didn't capture a lot of internet sales. And at one point they did have a partnership with Amazon that actually Amazon broke. So I get that Toys R Us thought they were going the right direction, but you should already know, never rely on someone else for yourself. Always rely on yourself. That you can control. Others you cannot. So these are big things though, where it's also becoming a very service-based industry. Like you go into Best Buy now, hey, we can sell you, I don't know what their whole program is, but it's like tech support and everything, and a lot of these companies are now offering this. And that is good, because if you've ever tried to call a company for tech support, like, hey, I just bought this new printer, why isn't it working with you guys' laptop? I got this Dell and it just won't work. Well, you're gonna have to call HP, because it's their printer and we just make the laptop. And then you call HP and they're like, oh no, you gotta call Dell, it's their laptop. You get a lot of the runaround. So a lot of these companies are trying to step in and fulfill these roles and give you those kinds of services at a reasonable price, where they're still making money on these services, but they're also giving you something that you couldn't do on your own. And personally, I would probably, if I didn't know a lot about tech, sign up for one of these myself, because when I do call a company, even for parts, like Dell, because I need like a replacement graphics card for a specific computer, or the motherboard is dead, I don't like having to wait and speak to 5 different departments because I can't get to the correct one the first time. Not my fault. I did select the correct prompt, but your system decided to transfer me over to retail sales. I called for parts ordering. Well, this is retail sales. Let me get you over to the right department. Hi, this is customer service. No! I used to work in a call center. It's very agitating. That's also why you should cold transfer. That's another argument, though. I hate call centers. Used to work in them. Cold transfers can lead to some problems. But I don't think it's just so much of an here's the correct way for all retailers to fix their problem. It is going to be a long and arduous battle, and we're going to probably lose plenty more retailers that are going to die off because they couldn't figure out how to evolve to make it so they fit into the current marketplace. I do think malls are going to start to die off. Obviously, there are already probably some around you that are starting to die off. We have some here that are all but dead at the moment. And a lot of that comes from also, malls are kind of from a dead era. That used to be the thing. Like when I was younger, you'd go and hang out at the mall all day. Being a mall rat was a common place. That was what we did. Hey mom, can you drop me off at the mall? I got a date tonight. 15, I don't know what the hell a date actually is. Jesus Christ. But mall rats just hang out at movie theaters. Movie theaters, I wouldn't really say are going to go anywhere. They don't really even need to evolve. You can only go to a movie theater, but now they got like comfy lounge chair. Oh, movie theaters have gotten a lot nicer. I just hope they wipe down those chairs since they're leather at the end of the night, because stuff can... Ugh. I'm not a germaphobe and it still bothers me. So I do think it is going to be very interesting to see how a lot of these retailers do decide to evolve. And obviously not every retailer does need to evolve, but we talked about a little bit how Best Buy kind of did that whole, we moved away from car audio and moved over to appliances, and appliances really helped grow their business. But another thing they did was allow other companies to buy areas of their store, like Microsoft. That's essentially a Microsoft store that's in every Best Buy. Microsoft pays for the employee, Microsoft is paying for their training. Best Buy is essentially piecemealing out their store and making money that way and lowering their cost that way. And that is smart. You have associates in your store that are very well versed and trained on certain products that you might have had to have someone trained in like 20 different products. Like Mac, for example, you have a guy in there who's going to specifically know about Mac products. You'll have a guy in there who specifically knows about Windows products. And at one point in time, they were trying to venture more into the gaming industry, and that really ended for them. Obviously, as we saw with them ending Gamers Club Unlocked, at one point in time, they were even trying to pull away a lot of GameStop employees, and it seemed like they were going to try to really focus on that end of the business. However, with gaming, there isn't really a lot of room for profit. There isn't. I'm just not on a new game, not as a retailer. I think digital is going to become a huge part of the way that games end up consumed in the future. Eventually we'll go into that, but as we're saying right now, these are the pros and the cons and the uphill battle that you're going on as a retailer. But obviously, as I said, a lot of the things that save them also can alienate their audience if you have poor salespeople in those positions, like ones that are aggressive and can't sell. So it's going to be interesting, though, to see how this all comes out. There are some retailers I think will die off over time, and we'll probably never hear from again. I bet you guys can't guess who I think's on that list. GameStop is possibly towards the end of that list, actually, which is shocking enough, but I think they're at least fine for the time being, especially if a buyout happens. I think that they could restructure and fix a lot of the issues with their business model. But if that buyout never happens, then we could wind up in a worse position. So, guys, I'd love to hear what you think down in the comments down below. What retailers do you think are running on dated models? Do you like using a order online and pick up in store sort of program? there are even a lot of retailers now that offer same-day delivery. Granted, I'm not willing to pay for same-day delivery, especially when I have Amazon Prime, and I don't have to pay for it because I can get Prime Now products, but you know what I'm saying. I am curious to your guys' thoughts on all this. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a thumbs up. Those thumbs up help us grow the community and help me get more views. That way we can keep this community growing and hopefully make YouTube less of a pipe dream for me and more of a reality. Also, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button. You can also ding that little bell. That bell will notify you when I upload more content, because the subscribe button on its own is useless. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll have plenty more content coming for you, and stick around.